Holla ballers and a brofist to you all this fine, freezing Wednesday evening. It is blizzarding outside. The snow is falling large and in charge across the UK. We are covered in a blanket of white powder. And it's nothing that's going to stimulate your power. Today is Workshop Wednesday. That's right, Workshop Wednesday. I see a lot of new faces every time we do a workshop, which is awesome. And if you're wondering what the workshop is, because I've picked up a successful amount of followers just from live streaming during the day. I don't realise that most of what I do is actually revolving around the YouTube. The workshop is quite simple. Submit to me a video of you playing your character. More often than not, we run into this crazy situation where we're geared correctly, we're reforged as our add-ons tell us to be, we have gemmed appropriately, and we kind of have a good idea of what our spell should be. But our DPS sucks. Our DPS sucks. In other cases, our DPS feels fine. But it doesn't seem like it's where it should be. It should be that little bit higher. I can't see where I'm going wrong. These are the situations that happen a lot of times. A lot of people come to me saying, dude, I have really good gear, but I pull atrocious DPS. Why is that? Or I just feel like there's something not quite right with my character. How can I do that? You simply record yourself playing. There's lots of free programs out there able to do that, such as Open Broadcast Source is the most recent one flying around, and of course the free beta version of XSplit. They allow you to record your gameplay for free, and then you upload it to the YouTubes for free, and then you send me a link to that video at preachgaming@gmail.com. You send that to me, and then I spend many a while watching you play. That's generally what I do. It takes me a good few hours to prepare a workshop, but I enjoy it immensely. I truly enjoy it. I choose some of your videos, and I say, I think I can have some tips for this guy. I think I can help you out. I, of course, do not play every single class and spec to a world first level. That would be crazy. We're not crazy around here. We're rational, logical thinkers. What I can say is I have had exceptional high-end raiding progression ever since this game came out on a variety of classes attaining world firsts, and I would like to use that knowledge to help you guys out. That's the crux of the daily. I have been a healer throughout Vanilla. I was a tank throughout TBC and Wrath of the Lich King, and a DPSer through all of Cataclysm, attaining many records in doing so. And that's what we like to do today. Hence, Workshop Wednesday. Workshop Wednesday, which is a wonderful thing. It's actually the most favourite thing that I do. Besides Drama Thursday and Friday, right? We've got Drama Day tomorrow and Friday. A 24-hour live stream on Friday, you say, Preacher? A 24-hour live stream? Can it be? It is! It is! It's a 24-hour SimCity 5 live stream doing by our most recent streamer added to the team, Mr. Delore. He's going to be streaming SimCity 5 and multiplaying with all kinds of crazy people. So if you are planning to buy SimCity 5, why don't you join in with the rest of the guys and have some fun on Friday? 24-hour live stream. Should be good shit. So we've got Drama Thursday tomorrow, Drama Friday on Friday. Ghosty will be live streaming your transmog runs if you're looking for some transmogrification gear tonight and tomorrow. Literally, he will be streaming from about 7 PM, which is 2 hours from now. So shortly after the workshop finishes, Mr. Ghost will be firing up the live stream and taking all you guys, unfortunately it is EU only, on some transmog runs. I believe he's doing Black Temple, ICC and Ulduar, places like that he's doing tonight. And tomorrow he'll be doing some more, and perhaps playing some League of Legends with you guys as well. So all good things to look forward to. Tonight's workshop, we have an Assassination Rogue. No one else has submitted to me a Rogue workshop. That's a lie. One person did, but the footage unfortunately was unusable. Very stuttery, couldn't use it. Ugh. But someone finally submitted to me a Rogue workshop. Something I've been looking forward to doing on my... I really enjoy doing the Rogue ones. Rogues are something that's considered a rather simplistic class, especially if you look at Assassination. Really easy, right? Really stupidly easy. How can you go wrong with an Assassination Rogue? But there's still ways we can improve our play, and sometimes we don't realise how one minor error can affect our entire DPS for the rest of the fight and really fuck us over in quite a major way. That's something we're going to see tonight. We also have a Ret Paladin who plays pretty damn well, but he's kind of reliant in the wrong kind of things, and movement is actually kind of an issue for this Ret Paladin. Just simple things like movement can really fuck you up, especially if you're melee, you kind of get screwed over. Our final video will be our pro video of the week. We like to include some kind of pro video, either looking at the new 5.2 PTR bosses or something else. Today we will be looking at an Affliction Warlock running the gold time in challenge mode. In the Siege of Nizhao Temple. A lot of people kind of about running affliction in a challenge mode. We need to be burst, right? I should be demonology. But we're going to be looking at affliction Warlock playing extremely well in the Siege of Nizhao Temple and gaining that gold medal in that challenge mode. So it'll be damn good stuff. I think we're going to open with the Ret Paladin. I don't want to open with the Ret Paladin. I kind of want to get this one done. The Ret Paladin is kind of an interesting beast. I gave the Ret Paladin kind of a hard rap, right? I did the guide for the Ret Paladin in patch 5.1, and I gave it kind of a hard time. And I stand by my words. I do not favour the current playstyle of the Ret Paladin. Some of you probably love the Ret Paladin. I personally just don't like it. I don't like the way it works. I don't like the way the buffs intermingle. I certainly do not like the way the cooldowns mingle together either. They all seem to stodge together like a really bad pie. Like a pie that makes no sense, like beef and apples. That's not a pie. That's not a pie. And that's how the Ret Paladin feels. Sometimes it's like, oh, I need to do this now. I need to do that now. So much micromanagement and things just don't line up nicely. Therefore, we end up either using an add-on, or we spend an abundant amount of time watching our spells, which is terrible, because that leads us to all sorts of environmental issues, which we're going to see happen. And this is a good thing about Ret Paladins. We kind of think if we use CLC Ret, our Ret Paladin is going to be using CLC Ret, which is a kind of add-on that people use for all the wrong reasons. It's an add-on I recommend. I do recommend it. With the current state of Ret Paladins, I do recommend CLC Ret. However, some people see it as, this is what I must press next. And that's not what CLC Ret is all about. Before we get into that, we're going to show you the UI. I always like to start off with the UI. Let me get this wonderful chap into combat. There we go. We're going to look at the UI and give you sort of an overview of how it looks. And you can kind of pick out anything you think seems unusual. When we set up our UI, we spend a lot of time doing it, or we download some pack and we're quite happy with it. We kind of miss out on things that are glaringly obvious to other people. So let's jump into this and you can have a look at the UI. Brum-fum-bum. Here's our Ret Paladin in action. Temple of the Jade Serpent. Everybody's been here. Everybody's enjoyed it. Yeah. That big Tauren badass. Gotta say, lovely transmog. Lovely transmog. What a stunning transmog. A member of Stark Industries, no doubt. He has passed the test. He has passed the test. Ghost approved, I would say. Ghost approved. So let's see what we've got here. Quests. Recount's a bit too large. Okay. What on earth? Correct! Azrael's pointed out what I would think is the most obvious thing here is what's going on with those health bars on the left. The quest bar I'm not too bothered about. You can easily hide that by clicking the tab. It's not a major UI feature, I wouldn't have thought. Quests! You got quests to do, son. You got quests to do. Okay, we don't really want to look at the boss. First things first, the quest thing, a lot of people pointing out the quest thing, is a really, really minor issue to me. I think this is really minor. Clicking that button would hide that, and none of you would have possibly noticed anything, okay? None of you have possibly noticed a goddamn thing. What I will say is, this is far too large. Yeah, we don't need the recount that big. That's aside. Hey, if you have your recount that big, it's because you're always looking for yourself at the bottom of the damage meter. Am I right? There is no other reason why you need your recount to be that large unless you're regularly like at the bottom, which is really sad, right? It's one of those things that I can see and I know why it's happened, right? I have to have my recount really large because I'm not near the top of the damage. I totally get where you're coming from, so I'm not that bothered about the recount thing. I get it. It's fine. It's no big deal. I understand why it's there. Yeah. If you're cool, I just have the top one showing. Just to make sure. No big deal. No big deal. Yeah, but if you've got your recount this big, it's because you're usually right on here. If you increase the size of your recount beyond the symmetry of everything else around it, it's because that is the first time you can see yourself. I know that's what it is, but we're only joking. Remember, the workshop is all about having a little bit of fun with what we do, so don't take anything personal. This is because this UI pack has been downloaded with a different resolution. That's what's happened here, okay? And it has led to double raid frames. In fact, if we flick back there to here, what we certainly don't need to do, let's get this shit deactivated. We don't care. We really don't care. We trust our judgment that we know what we're supposed to be attacking. We don't need to see what everybody in the goddamn world is attacking, and certainly not what everybody is casting. If you want to see what everyone's casting, stick it in the health bar somewhere. It's easy enough to do that. We really want to do that. If you're looking for holy power, it's actually here. It's nice and put in here. It's there. You can see the 5 bars there signifying that holy power. That's fine. I would say buffs and debuffs. One major thing lacking in this UI, and we're going to see a kind of issue about this later on, is that we do not know what buffs we have on us at any point. We just don't know. Without having to glare our attention to miles away out of the actual where we want to be looking, we kind of just don't know. We really have no idea. We flat out don't know. We certainly don't know if we've got trinket procs or anything like that. We've no idea because the buffs are miles away. Most of your buffs can be consolidated. It's the best thing Blizzard ever put into the game is consolidate them. Anything else you need to know, trinket procs, anything like that, big sort of weapon enchant procs, we need to tell me when somewhere nice and in the middle of the screen. I always think that's cool. And I know many of you are using MSPT, especially as it comes with my UI. You will know I have all this kind of shit disabled. I know that when I cast Judgment, if I have the talent Long Arm of the Law, I'm going to get the buff, right? Right? I know I'm going to get it. I don't need someone to tell me. I also don't need an add-on to tell me that I have 1 or 2 holy power because that information's there. This just spams up. The biggest area of your screen should be the clearest. This middle part of the screen should be as clear as humanly possible. Every single goddamn time, as clear as humanly possible. And if you are going to keep grid on in a 5-man, you don't even need these. You don't even need these. I want to point out, because we're going to talk about it later, that these stances, essentially, or seals, if you want to call them that, are over here on the left-hand side. That's going to become relevant later on, okay? So it's pretty cool, pretty damn cool. So overall, UI is not too bad. Not too bad. So we're actually going to skip on to round about here. Boom, boom, boom. The actual gameplay that we see throughout this video isn't actually too bad. It's actually pretty difficult to go wrong with CLC Ret. So let's talk about CLC Ret briefly. CLC Ret is this add-on here. Now I want to show you this while he's in combat. You can see he's generally got a blue level of gear with a couple of ethics that he's managed to pick up. Nothing special. We're not expecting enormous DPS. We're certainly not expecting enormous DPS, especially with the ramp-up time that Retribution Paladins have. 5-man heroics are a little bit unfriendly towards Ret Paladins sometimes, unless they get a good amount of time to DPS. It's pretty normal. Go and get into combat. In combat, here we can see. This is CLC Ret in action. Now, CLC Ret looks like it's saying you must press Templar's Verdict, you must press Templar's Verdict, you must press Crusader Strike or Hammer of the Righteous, Exorcism, Judge. You need to put your Inquisition back on, Crusader Strike. That's not really what CLC Ret is about. It's not what it's about. A lot of people see it as, that's what I should press, and that is what I'm going to do. Well, that's not really what we use CLC Ret for. CLC Ret's main advantage over anything is not to replace your thinking process, okay? That's not what we're trying to get out of CLC Ret. We don't want to replace our brain power. Our brain power is going to win every single fucking time. The problem is this. Ret Paladins can now generate 5 holy power. The idea of CLC Ret is to tell you how to maximize your use of holy power. That's it. With having the ability to have 5 holy power, we certainly don't need to Templar's Verdict, which is our 3-point finisher, or Divine Storm, our other 3-point finisher, every single time it's available. We don't need to do that. That's actually a DPS loss. That's where CLC Ret starts to win over the brain power. In the brain power, we kind of say, we got 3 holy power. I want to drop the fucking nuclear bomb on top of this boss's head. Why can't I do that? Because you can actually generate more holy power. And you will, this Templar's Verdict isn't going anywhere. As long as you don't overcap your holy power, it's not going anywhere. You haven't lost any DPS. And the brain, with all the different abilities that can generate holy power, can actually struggle to make best use of that. Otherwise, you're going to have to accurately track many, many spells that Ret Paladins use. CLC Ret simply says, hey, it's better for you to cast another Judgment and get that on cooldown and generate another holy power than it is to use your Templar's Verdict right now. Because you will go up to 5 holy power, then you can start spending some. That's all it's for. The problem is this add-on is actually quite... It's worthy of glaring at, right? A lot of us like to glare at CLC Ret. But we'll come back to that. That's not the point I want to show right now. AoE as a Ret Paladin kind of sucks, right? AoE as a Ret Paladin kind of sucks. We have very different things that we do depending on how many mobs we have. The classic problem that a lot of new Ret Paladins run into is they understand the two basic things. If we have more than one mob, Divine Storm is generally a better spell to cast. If we have 5 or 6 mobs, then generally we want to cast Hammer of the Righteous. Our player is actually fine with that. There's his Divine Storm. You can see he's using his Hammer of the Righteous. All good. But there is a third most vital thing that you need to know when you come and do big, fat AoE. And it is, in fact, your seals. Seals are actually really important. Seal of Truth is generally your main go-to seal. But when we go into mad AoE situations, Seal of Righteousness becomes very important because it starts to vastly pull ahead. The more mobs, the better you're going to be with Seal of Righteousness. This instance generates a lot of pulls that are really fucking big. Big giant pulls. They're Seal of Righteousness pulls. And when we're struggling to generate this kind of AoE with this ramp up time, it's time to get into the habit of switching these. I bring this up because in patch 5.2, Blizzard is altering this so that Seal of Righteousness is going to become more important. I guarantee a lot of new Ret Paladins don't even have Seal of Righteousness bound. Right? You don't even have it bound. Why the hell would you? I use Seal of Truth 90% of the time. That's fine. But we definitely need to get this sorted. You need to get it keybound now and get ready to use it. So on a couple of these pulls, if we go back to 554, which is it's around about there. We see when we get to this situation, so many mobs, we're going to have a huge DPS increase from actually just abusing Seal of Righteousness. We're going to get a lovely bit of DPS and start pushing this up quite significantly. Look at all these mobs. Yet we're only Seal of Truthing one mob. We're basically hitting the big bad Songbird Queen, and we need to not do that. We need to not do that whatsoever, okay? That would be a bad situation. We should be using our Seal of Righteousness. And remember, you can do some very nice heals as a Ret Paladin. Ret Paladins do have the ability to give themselves big fat heals. If we're sitting on this low, no point in wasting the ability to throw a big heal on ourselves if our heal is a little bit slack. We've been sitting at 45% now, 40% for a fucking long time. Let's throw ourselves a big meaty heal on ourselves and we're going to be in good shape. We're going to be in good shape. Doesn't cost us a goddamn thing. The next thing we wanted to really look at is this. Okay? I wanted to point this out because it kind of made me laugh. As a stupid thing, it kind of made me laugh. Wait for it. Has this ever worked? Ever? In the history of this fucking game? Has this ever worked? I don't think so. I really do not think so. This is perhaps one of the craziest things. I've seen some shit, okay? I've seen some things in my time. I have never, ever seen that happen. Ever. I have never seen anybody ever listen to that. Ever. I've been told this on a number of occasions. I'm just reloading my chat, by the way. My chat completely crashed. It's not that it's hard to keep track, but when anybody says to me, change on 6 stacks, I have never in the history of fucking mankind seen anybody do that. Ever. If you feel like typing it, go ahead. Ain't gonna work. I'm pretty sure it's not gonna work. And we're gonna see this in action that nobody fucking sees. In fact, we are the only person that's going to switch. There's a minor point I want to pull out here, and we're going to see an example of something. We're about to pull, obviously. We've got 3 Holy Power saved, which was cool. Could have popped our Inquisition a little bit earlier. We pop cooldowns the second we pull. There, all our cooldowns are procs, okay? We've got Holy Avenger up, our fucking stuff, Guardian, whatever. We don't really want to be doing that. We don't want to do that. The problem is if we get into the habit of blowing everything the second we pull, we actually suffer a DPS loss. Those cooldowns only last for a certain amount of time. The issue is we need to get the rest of our shit to proc. We need our trinkets to proc, we need our weapon enchants to proc, and we need to get them all on top of each other. Remember, your buffs are multiplicative. You need to go boom, 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 boom. We need things to happen before we blow all cooldowns. We need things to happen. Important things that really sort of push our DPS from being high to being absolutely amazing. We need to make those things happen. We need to wait just those few seconds, and you're going to see massive amounts of DPS increase, okay? Huge amounts of DPS increase. Popping all these cooldowns now is going to give us not quite that godly burst we'd like to see. You can see we're doing about 42k DPS. We're switching at 6. The only person is switching at 6. It's pretty cool to see. It's not bad. This video does skip for some reason, which is kind of weird. It skips to this boss, but that's okay. That's okay. We need to wait. You need to give it those couple of seconds, alright guys? Very important. This counts for every single class in the game. Every single goddamn class. You need to be just giving it those couple of seconds. And the DPS difference is huge. It's really, really immense amounts of stuff that happens. So much stuff happens in that pull that you need to just delay it. Keep it in your pants. Blowing your load early is not going to be cool. As you can see, when we come to this point and we start getting things to proc, we only have like 8 seconds left on our cooldowns. You can see there's only like 8 seconds left, and we'll start getting things to pop up and proc, all this kind of stuff. You can see various shit starts happening. We need to wait for that to happen, because now these things have procced. Our cooldowns are kind of running out now, and it kind of sucks. Don't be premature. Don't blow your wedge before it's time to go, right? Don't blow your wedge before it's time to go. Now, talking about CLC Ret again, let's get back to CLC Ret, because this is the kind of problem it creates us. The problem with CLC Ret is that we make decisions based on what this says. This is the point I want to see. I can almost guarantee that the focus of our player is all on CLC Ret. What does this tell us, this screenshot? I kind of want to see. You guys can see. You guys can see what is going to happen now that should not happen. There's something about to happen. All the information you need is right there. And I really, really want to see what you guys think. There's something about to happen, and it's pretty damn obvious. Yeah, analysts just point out he's going to Inquisition. He's going to Inquisition. What's the problem with Inquisition? It's only got 3% left, okay? This is where it stands out for me. I was kind of looking for this. I'll be honest, I was kind of looking for this to happen. When I see a Ret Paladin using CLC Ret, I'm kind of wondering how fixated are you on this add-on in terms of how much of the add-on is making decisions for you. Because that's not what this add-on is about. That's not what it's for. It's not trying to make decisions for you. It's a guide. It's a helping hand. That's it. But we get very attached to it. We look at it. And this is where it can lead us into trouble, is situations like this. Is we're about to use our Holy Power. We've got 4 Holy Power right now. This boss only has 3% left. But we're about to stick ourselves on a huge buff. And there you can see Inquisition at 31 seconds. And we just don't get to do anything else. The boss dies. The boss dies. Now, you might think, yeah, you missed one hit on a boss. This situation happens a lot. A hell of a lot. We use it too damn much to make decisions for us. Almost as if it's playing for us. If we could get this thing to press buttons for us and follow us around, then we'd basically be botting. We're basically a player and the add-on's telling us what to do. That's not what this add-on is about. And it's a lot of reasons that people give this add-on a bad name. It's just a helping hand. Be aware of what you're actually pressing. Think about it. What am I actually pressing here? Inquisition, it's on 3%. I know it's on 3%. I saw his health disappear. I don't need Inquisition right now. It's a fucking waste of time. This is a good example of this happening. Don't let the add-on control you. That's not what it's for. It's just saying, hey, if you do this and you stood in front of a boss, you're going to have a better time, okay? That's it. Nice and easy. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. It leads to another situation that we see here. If we come to 10 and 10... we're going to be in this situation. Now, we can see what's happening here. We're standing in a lot of pools. When I enter this room on any character, it doesn't matter if this is Temple of the Jade Serpent or it's the latest heroic raid. I'm concerned about what's going to kill me. There's no seal swap again, but we kind of addressed that earlier. If he didn't do it earlier, he's not going to do it now. That's just something that's missing from the play. Something that needs to be worked on. What we actually see here is that the add-on is too distracting, to the point where it's actually causing us environmental issues. It's causing us just to take unnecessary amounts of damage. In Temple of Jade Serpent, you can kind of get away with it. Alright? We can kind of get away with it in Temple of the Jade Serpent. But what we can't do is get away with this in like heroic raids. We're so focused on maximizing DPS, and I'm always aware that the guys are making videos which are for workshops. It's pretty cool here, okay? Dodges the stuff, running around, just making sure he's not taking too much damage. But as we get further into it, you see what I bear in mind? Something I always bear in mind when people send me a workshop. The first 5 minutes don't really tell me shit about stuff like environment, because you're trying to play as best as you possibly can. Of course you are. This is going to be watched by thousands of people. So you're trying to make the first 5 minutes. But as the fight goes on and the instance goes on, you kind of get comfortable. And then little things start to slip in which are more like your natural playstyle. And that's something I always like to bear in mind when I check out your videos. It's good. It's good. It's not something you should like, oh, I need to review my workshop. And you can see what happens here. Here we are. We're studying the black things. We've taken several ticks already. We're down to 40% HP. Okay. Watching CLC, we see this. We barely even see the black. Our eyes are here. And therefore we look. It's not until we get this warning. You are about to fucking die. You are about to die. But it's the, you know, you haven't noticed until you get this giant warning in your face that you're actually stood in things of death. Things of death are never cool. Never, never cool whatsoever. So the things to take away from this workshop is general level of play is fine. We're a little bit overly reliant on CLC Ret to the point we're not really using it correctly. It's a helping hand. If things are good, fine. You can pretty much stick to it and no one's going to know the difference. But we're relying on it a little bit too much. It's causing us not to lose complete control almost of our entire environmental awareness. We just don't know what's going on until we get some big fatty warning in our screen, as we saw there. Everyone stands in there for 1 or 2 tries, but it does happen consistently through the dungeon, and it's generally CLC Ret that's doing that. We also need to bear in mind, what are we actually pressing? What is this add-on telling me to do? Because it's a great add-on. I fully endorse it, but use it for what it's for. On top of that, we also need to bear in mind our cooldowns. Don't get into the habit of blowing your cooldowns before you attack, because the first couple of seconds are actually pretty shitty. It's 3, 4, and 5. Those seconds are where things really start to happen. You're a Ret Paladin. You need your seal to build up. You need your trinkets to proc, your weapons to proc, things like that. Then we blow our cooldowns and we get a maximum use out of it. You'll see a huge DPS increase from doing that. Really, really cool. Okay. That's our Ret Paladin. I think that was pretty good. Pretty good. What time are we on? Half past. Okay. A little bit slower than normal. A little bit slower than normal. We're going to look at the Rogue. We're going to finish up on the challenge mode as it's more of a demonstration of some good play, which I really, really like. We're going to be looking at an Assassination Rogue. Now, as I said, I was quite looking forward to getting an Assassination Rogue for a number of reasons. Assassination Rogues believe, or most of them, especially people who have rolled a Rogue and switched to Assassination. I know a lot of people don't like combat. Feels too complicated. Feels too complicated. I don't like sub. Feels too complicated. Assassination, really, really easy. Super fucking easy, right? Super easy, but we do stupid things. It actually is a relatively easy spec to play, but the Rogue overall is not. The Rogue overall has many, many tools. More than any other class in the game, a Rogue has a shitload of tools at its disposal, most of them based around kicking people's asses and bosses. We have all this kind of stuff ready to go. We are fully able to blow our wedge and kick some serious ass and abuse what we're capable of doing. I really like that aspect of the Rogue. This fight is going to demonstrate to us the very clear example of where even something as simple as an Assassination Rogue actually drives us to make horrendous mistakes which really flood out throughout the rest of the fight and causes massive amounts of issues. As an Assassination Rogue, we really have one priority, and that is just to keep Rupture up and Slice and Dice. That's pretty much it. Beyond that, we want to keep Envenom buff up as much as possible. The big thing about Assassination Rogues is people think it's a really spammy spec. Like, mutilate, mutilate, mutilate. Must use the second I have it available. It's not like that at all. It's absolutely not like that in the least. The Assassination Rogue is actually a very slow, steady spec. And there's a lot of waiting involved with being a good Assassination Rogue. A lot of pre-planning, a lot of thinking, and certainly not spamming your keyboard to death. Most people I see play Assassination Rogues, they are literally hammering to shit their keyboard to get the most out of it. It's not how it works with Assassination Rogues. It's actually a relaxing spec, which is really cool. Really, really cool. It's a nice alternative to the way normal rogues are, which is use your energy as much as humanly possible. Well, with Assassination, it doesn't really work that way, because we have a couple of things that we need to do. Keep Rupture up, keep Slice and Dice up, and generally keep the Envenom buff up as much as possible, because all our damage comes from poisons. That's it. Our damage comes from poisons. Our melee damage is meh, our Rupture damage is meh. It's all pretty insignificant compared to the amount of damage we do with our poisons. So we want to maximize that. What we see in this video as well is a rogue who understands the importance of Rupture, but kind of uses it incorrectly, and that leads into all sorts of tricky situations, okay? It leads to all sorts of things. So we're going to look at the UI first. Now, hey, if you send me a video, please don't send it in FLV. I fucking hate FLV. MP4, please. MP4 for life. Okay, so we're going to look at the UI first of all. You guys like to do that. Go, go, go! Way up that UI! PDF! Vindis shouts. We want it in PDF. We want it in PDF. So much shit on the screen. Whoa! Whoa! Looks like a command center. I'm sure I can get this thing to disappear. That would be nice. Nope, not going to disappear for me. Whatever. Fuck you, FLV player. Oh my god, I hate this UI. Damage coming with Jesus chat box. Yeah, okay. So let's look at a few things. Firstly, this UI is kind of... Oh, now you disappear. Thank you, VLC player. Thank you very much. Okay, a few things we need to note here is... This is actually a very low resolution video. I do request that most of the time you send me a video in at least 720p. It makes it much easier to see via the stream and so on and so forth. This is actually a 480p video. But we will note that generally the big giveaway is the size of your map. As you can see, the map comes below the chat box we have on the screen. It's a really big map. That seems to say to me... This is a really low resolution player. We don't have a very big monitor whatsoever. And as such, if you play on a very small monitor, you kind of, things look bigger than they actually are. I'm sure on his monitor it actually looks relatively normal. But we want to shift all this stuff down. Now, firstly, all this. Again, we mentioned this in the Paladin video. This MSBT stuff, you don't need this crap. You do not need this crap whatsoever. It's just absolute garbage. It's actually covering boss abilities. We don't like that. We don't need to know we got 10 energy and all this kind of shit. We don't need to know it. Your damage is actually covering the most important thing. What the hell is this boss going to do? And your timers are also covering the super most important thing. What the hell is about to happen next? Windburst is about to happen. I guarantee you cannot see that. I guarantee you cannot pay attention to that in your entire life. The cooldowns, I actually really like. I think that's pretty cool. Do we really need all these banks of buttons? Probably not. Do we need to see a 5-man in a raid? No, not really. And especially all their buffs and shit. We don't need to see this stuff, okay? Let's cut all this crap out of there and get a nice open view of what the hell is going on. It's all too cluttered. Actually, it's all gone. You've gone for quite a nice symmetry. I see what you've done there. But it's actually covering stuff up. You've got your timers covering boss mods. You've got all this crap up here. Don't need all this information. Hide the groups, anything you want to do. Other than that, it's actually not too bad. All the information you need. Now, one thing I did notice again is you are not tracking in any way your Envenom buff, okay? As we can see, Envenom is up. There's Envenom. Oh, you can't really see it because of the chat box, but Envenom buff is up. Don't worry about it. But there's no way of actually tracking that. We can't see that the Envenom buff is up anywhere on the screen, besides somewhere you're obviously not looking, right? You're obviously not looking up to where that is. And certainly we're not tracking trinket procs or anything like that. So I'm going to let this play out for a few seconds, and then we're going to talk about why this kind of goes into a weird situation. I do want to know that you didn't use tricks of the trade while pulling. Dude. No tricks of the trade while pulling? My god. My god. No tricks of the trade. Upsets me. It upsets me. We need that tricks of the trade, man. We need that tricks of the trade. Okay. So now we can see it in action. Now let's go back to the opener. Let's talk about the opener. I'm going to let the opener play through. I'm sure there's plenty of pro rogues in the chat. You can tell me what they think of this opener. There's the boss pulled. Now we DPS. Rupture on. Slice and dice on. Okay, a lot happened in those first few seconds, didn't it? A lot happened. We saw a lot of things fucking happen there. We really saw so much shit happen there. Right, it's better if I show you in game. Firstly, we are wildly out of position. Boss has pulled there. We even had a countdown. We had a fucking countdown. We had a countdown, and we are so fucking far away, it hurts my brain. We are miles away. We even pre-potted like a gangster. Like a gangster we pre-potted. But we are so fucking far away that we are absolutely in no possible hope of doing good DPS. I cannot express this to you enough. If you want a good DPS record, If you wait 2, 3, 4 seconds for the boss to be pulled, to DPS after the boss is pulled, you have no hope in fucking hell of doing a good DPS chart. At all. You are massively failed at that point. That point is just like, pfft, your DPS suffers massively. Absolutely, it's gone. Your chance of good DPS is over already. Before you've even done anything, your chance of doing good, solid, high DPS is over. It's game over. Unless you ridiculously outgear the content and you are competing with nothing but imbeciles, you're not going to do it. You are not going to do it because you've missed out on 4 seconds of DPS. That's a lot. It's a fucking lot. That is a shitload of DPS that you're not doing. Rogues have all these skills and abilities that make you get to places you need to go. I can't see Shadow Step, so I'm going to assume you don't have it. But you do have Sprint. We have that Sprint, and we need to be so much closer to this boss than where we are. So much closer. We are here on the steps when it's at 1 second. No, 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 no. Wrong. Wrong. No. We are a rogue, for fuck's sake. We should be sniffing the enemy testicles as it's about to happen. We need to be sniffing the enemy testicles. You are a rogue. You should be right up his fucking ass with tricks of the trade, ready to go, ready to give this guy a poison-based enema. You should be up his skirt. I want you sniffing the enemy pubes. You need to fucking be there. I'm serious. As a rogue, you have that advantage. Use it. Use it to its full advantage. Be up the enemy scrotum. Be there. Be inside it. Enjoy it. Be warm in there. You need to be there. This is just, as a rogue, the Shadow Priests are closer than you. Dude, we need to be in there. We so need to be in there. We need tricks of trade on. We need to be good to fucking go instantly. We want Sprint on if you don't have Shadow Step. Get Shadow Step. We need Sprint on. We need to be there. We need to be right in there straight away, okay? Right in there. We should be sprinting. If this happens, we need to be sprinting in. Then we DPS. 7 seconds. 7 fucking seconds we didn't DPS for. 7 seconds. Bad. Bad. But that's okay. Now you know, right? Hey, I bet you never forget to do that again. I bet you never forget to do that again. Okay, so we're in. We're in and we're good to go. It's always nice to drop a garrot early on, so it saves you wasting those combo points on a rupture and getting your slice and dice on. The rogue opener is kind of a tricky beast. You see, he pops all his cooldowns a few seconds after we start. Potion's about to wear off. So, pull is actually really good. Once you actually got into range, your pull was actually pretty good. Your pull was fine. You waited a few seconds, then you had your pre-pot on, it all lined up nicely. You can see your Shadow Blades is fading, and your Trinket is fading. Your Trinket's on 0 seconds. Your Berserking is disappearing. Pull was absolutely fine. But the pull was absolutely fine. No issues with that whatsoever. Now, I'm gonna let this play, and then I'm gonna show you this moment when it all goes wrong. And it all goes wrong 43 seconds into an 8-minute fight. This is what can happen with Assassination Rogues. It can fall apart 43 seconds in. It already fell apart 7 seconds in, right? 7 seconds of combat where we did nothing. That sucks. In a few seconds, it's going to fall apart for the remainder of the fight. And it sucks. It's really bad. And because we're sticking to a golden rule, which we don't want to do. We get knocked back. This is why we need Shadow Step, okay? I just want to point out, rogues are fucking awesome at always being on your ass. If you've ever been in a battleground, getting rid of a rogue isn't easy. Getting rid of a rogue is not easy because they have so many ways of getting back into your scrotum. They live there. They fucking live there. You love it. If you get knocked back as a rogue, you fucking love it. Right? You're like a warrior. A warrior gets knocked back. Lol, DK. Whatever. Lol. You don't give a shit. You don't care. You're right back in there. You Shadow Step. Not me bat my ass. And fucking Shadow Stepped up your nuts. I can sprint back. Live there. You cannot get rid of me. That is the attitude of being a DPSer. You are a bloodthirsty goddamn animal. You're a bloodthirsty animal. You should remember that. Get this jogging back business. No. Wrong. Don't like it. Don't like it. Right, and this is where it goes wrong. Because we got knocked back as our rogue. We got knocked back. And that kind of sucks. We jogged back. What happened is we actually sat on our combo points. And our rupture fell off. Okay? I'm going to show you here. Here comes the unseen strike. Do note this in a second. This is awesome. You used feint. Hey, I'm joking with you in this video, but I'm making the serious points, but I'm having a laugh with you at the same time. The use of feint here, you're instantly better than 80% of other rogues. I just want to point that out, okay? These are all fixable things. The fact that you used feint at this point is a fucking godsend. Seriously, you're better than so many rogues instantaneously. Instantaneously. Rogues who know what feint does, mwah, you are amazing. Rogues that have feint keybinded, I love you guys, okay? You know what the fuck you're doing, which is awesome. Okay, so this is the situation we're in right now. Slice and Dice is at a good level. We have 4 combo points. Rupture has 2 seconds remaining. What do we do, chat? What would we do right now? What the hell would we do right now? I want to know. We're about to get knocked back. We know that because we press feint. We know it's going to happen. We press feint because we know we're going to get knocked back. You would Rupture. Azrael, straight in there. You drop that Rupture. You are almost energy capped. Energy capping as a rogue? No. No, we don't do that. We don't energy cap as a rogue. We take our time with Assassination, but we do not energy cap. Energy capping is incredibly lost DPS. Rupture's about to fade off. You know you're going to get knocked back. I know you know. You put feint on. You know it's going to happen. You have 4 combo points. You're about to energy cap. You fucking Rupture. I know the rules tell you. The rules say don't Rupture until it's like the last tick, right? Don't Rupture. The situation changes. To be a great DPSer, you know how your class works, you know how the boss works, you put both of those together. Like that. You put those damn things together. You put those things together, and this is one of those situations. You shouldn't technically clip Rupture, but this is the situation where you do, because you're going to energy cap. That's really bad. This is going to lead you into a world of shit. So we don't Rupture. We get knocked back. We don't sprint. We certainly don't shadow step back. We jog back. Now we're in this situation. We've got Slice and Dice is okay. We have 4 combo points. I'm assuming right now you have Anticipation. If you have Anticipation, you should generally try and aim for 5 combo point finishes all the time, okay? Brief note. But I don't know what your level 90 talent is, so I won't presume to know that. In case there's rogues out there going, using the fucking... I know what you guys are like. I know what you guys are like. So I'm just going to assume that. We envenom. We get the 5. We envenom. No. No. No, 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 no. Because what happens now? We accidentally envenomed because we're a bit pressured, right? We just got knocked back. We've got all these combo points. We're full of energy. I know the situation you're in. You're like, panic mode. Oh my god. We're in panic mode. So we envenomed by accident. Keep calm and don't do what you're about to do. But we must keep Rupture on. We must keep Rupture on. So what do? A 3-point Rupture. A 3-point Rupture. Now we enter what I like to call the enemy anus. Because now we are literally covered in shit for the remainder of this fight. If you start using low point finishers, especially things like Rupture, shit is going to run out really quick. You're going to start refreshing it really quick. You're going to stop doing as many envenoms. You are literally in a world of shit. If you think Jesse Ventura and his buddy Arnie had a bad time in Predator, you're about to have a worse time. You are. This is what happens, okay? I shit you not. I wrote down the whole process that happens here. We do a 3-point Rupture. So our Rupture only lasts 14 seconds now. And then what happens is we end up in a cycle that we just don't feel is any good. I guarantee through the majority of this fight you were like, Rupture just kept falling off. And it did. And it did. The Rupture just kept falling off. Because we went to here, because you're generally used, you got the Unseen Strike, you drop your feint, nice. You then envenomed with Rupture at 5 seconds left. If you're going to use these really low combo point finishes, it's going to be running out all the damn time. And now things are going to really suffer really badly. Because now we used another envenom before the Unseen Strike, before the Rupture. We got a couple more combo points on. We did a 2-point Rupture. 2-point Rupture, which has only got 11 seconds on it. By the time we get back, we managed to just about pull an envenom off while Rupture has 2 seconds left. Then we do another 2-point Rupture. Okay? We've now used so much energy. Refreshing Rupture that we're in a world of crap. I cannot express to you how this sucks. How much this fucking sucks. It really sucks. In fact, you just basically went 3-point Rupture, followed by another Envenomment, another 3-point Rupture, followed by 2-point Ruptures, and it would just refreshing Rupture all the fucking time. A Rupture can last like up to 30 seconds-ish. It's around that kind of time. And even though Rupture is a really insignificant amount of damage, the more points it has, the better multiplier it has with attack power, it still contributes. Okay, it still contributes. You cannot afford to do this because this cycle of low combo point Ruptures and trying to squeeze in Envenoms screws up your DPS for like the remainder of the fight. Another 3-point Rupture. We're then trying to squeeze that Envenom in, and we can see spamming the button as best as possible, getting that Envenom in, then trying to build back up, trying to get back there, and it takes us so long. Now Rupture has fallen off. Rupture, we haven't even got Rupture on now, and now we're panicking. We're still not using Sprint. We're trying to get back. Then we're going to put a 5-point Rupture on. But now we're all panicked and we're all flustered and it all kind of fucking sucks. It is. It's a circle jerk of Rupture. Trying to get into a habit of trying to refresh really short cooldowns. It's just, it sucks. It sucks. It's just being stuck in a web of crap. It really sucks. 4 or 5 combo points is just going to make your life so much easier. Don't get in the habit of trying to put 2s on. You've put like 5 Ruptures on there when you probably could have got away with 2. And then a lot more Envenoms, a lot more Envenom buff, a lot more poisons doing a lot more damage, so on and so on and so on and so forth. Really make best use. There wasn't much else that happened here. You got stuck in this circle again. The biggest issue so far that actually caused you to do that, it's a cause of chain of events, is that you're not using your movement abilities. You've got Sprint, such a short cooldown. You've got Shadow Step, again, such a short cooldown. You have all these things available to you. They are a DPS increase. Also, use your Vanish. There's a reason we have those tier 1 talents, okay? Use your Vanish. They can get some benefits out of there. You didn't use that. Other than that, your pull was pretty much perfect. So, I'd like to have seen a Garrot in there, maybe. Then you don't need to put that Rupture up. Remember, they don't stack. All that kind of stuff. But in general, these are the things that just led to, like, a constant cycle. And I could absolutely feel that you were like, I'm just refreshing Rupture all the time. Or it feels like my Rupture's just falling off constantly. I never get to sort of relax, and then the pressure's on, and you just make silly mistakes. Other than that, you did really, really well. You had Feint on every single time it was needed, which is magnificent. Little things. Use those movement speed abilities. Be on this boss's ass. Be this pimple. Be the pimple on his anus. He cannot get rid of you. He can knock you back all he wants. You will be back instantly and continue to DPS. Be that rogue. Okay? Be that rogue. I want you to be that rogue. Oh, we've got 10 minutes left. Okay, we're going to have a little look at the challenge mode. Now, we're not going to be looking for mistakes or anything like that. We're going to be looking at a Warlock. Now, I will say this is Forte Exorcist. I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure it is. It looks exactly like Forte to me. And we're looking from an Affliction Warlock point of view. A lot of people don't like or feel that Affliction Warlocks aren't that great for challenge modes sometimes and prefer sort of demo. I actually disagree. Affliction Warlocks play right can actually do tons of stuff. That's going to be demonstrated here. So UI is actually pretty funky. I'm not sure if I like it. I'm not sure. I'm going to let him dot some things. I'm going to let it play through. We'll talk a little bit about the UI. Talk a little bit. Okay, there's the UI. What do you guys think? Yeah, Forte. This is why I don't like Forte. I've talked about this in a couple of the dot videos, like with Class Timers, is that Forte Exorcist is, in some ways, the superior way of tracking dots. If you're an Affliction Warlock, this information instantly becomes completely fucking useful to me. Useless. Absolutely useless. This doesn't mean a goddamn thing, especially if we have our timers relatively thin, so we can't actually see the name of the thing that's carrying the dot. This is why I stopped using it, this very reason. I stopped using it for this reason. The most important thing I'm getting out of this right now, if I look closely enough, or I got used to this add-on, is that 2 of the mobs don't have full dots on. But there are many other ways. I did a video recently on the YouTube channel. If you're a dotter, a multi-dotter, and you're concerned with your ability to multi-dot, I recently did a video explaining multi-dotting and how I do it across all the multi-dot classes. If that's something you're interested in, go ahead. Forte Exorcist is another way of dealing with that. It just feels a little bit too much. I don't find this information useful. Other than that, I think it's a relatively nice UI. I quite like it. One thing he's particularly proud of is this circular thing here. It's actually really discreet. really quite discreet. It really is quite discreet. I'm actually going to bring up what this is because I think you guys should be quite interested in this. And he sent me a full picture of this. Let me just do that. Okay. He sent me this picture. Now, as you can see, all these circles around his character actually mean various things. He's even got dots here, like his yellow is unstable affliction, red is corruption. His shadow fury is this internal one. Haunt is up in green. He's got a dark soul one. Full shards is this top add-on. Dark bargain is big cooldowns. Twilight ward is defensive. So his magic debuffs here. This little circle actually has a ton of information in it and is remarkably discreet. Once you get to this, once you actually can use this and understand it relatively easily, it actually tells you a lot of information without actually getting in your face. As you can see when you look at it here, it's not in your face by any means. It's really not in your face. I also quite like the, you can see his cooldowns here, which is all nice, all pretty cool. This is an interesting thing to me. I just want to point this out on a personal level, is I see a lot of people do this with their damage meters, this sort of scrolling thing. I don't like this. I don't like this. It takes up a lot of information. It's a very clean, neat UI. I actually think Omen, lol. Hey, we've got Omen. I'll shut up about the UI. Omen's there. It's all good. It's all good. So I'm going to play through. I want to start from the beginning. Now, this is one of the things where sometimes I feel myself going, ooh, would I have done that? Would I have done that? When I see 4 mobs on my Affliction Warlock, I tend to want to dot them all instantly. So we see an idea of going for the Seed of Corruption to put the corruption and everything, and then we go for a little bit of extra multi-dotting outside that. I'm not sure if I would have done that, but I'm not going to argue by any means. I'm going to be argue. And you see it's all very cool. He's all prepared for his Shadow Fury, as you can see there. One of the big things about Challenge Mode is you need immense DPS all the time. Always, always, always. You can see no resin shells, obviously. Things like that need to be hidden. And here is a perfect demonstration. Hey, Warlocks out there. Warlocks. Motherfuckers. If I see any of you guys complaining about your level 90 Warlock talents again, God help me, I will fucking find you. I will find you. I fucking will. I swear to God. Kil'jaeden's Cunning is literally one of the best fucking talents I have ever seen. I have ever fucking seen. If you keep complaining about it, I'm going to get very upset. I'm going to get very, very upset. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Don't do that, okay? Fucking, it's awesome. I see Warlocks all the time. My level 90 talents suck. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Have you seen what Kil'jaeden's Cunning is? Ugh, guys. Guys make me so sad. So, so sad. Running Seed of Corruptions. Oh, my level 90 talent is so bad that I can run in AoE. Oh, it's awful. Woe is me, right? Fucking Doomsday. Kiss my ass. It's fucking really good. It's amazing. Yeah, going for the standard seed stuff. And this is all pretty normal, And look, it's nice for you guys to see a couple of ways if you're thinking of getting to challenge modes, of best ways of abusing this stuff. Going for pure AoE, getting in position. Note this, really like this. Getting into position, getting ready, getting the soul shards all maxed, finishing those things off. Straight onto the boss. Oh no, we pull these out, don't we, to get some more damage buffs? Yeah, I remember. More damage buffs. More and more and more. Skip onto the boss. Instantly blowing all cooldown, the Dark Soul up, no trinkets up, but we've got our Doom Guard ready to go. Doom Guard going, instantly DPSing, still getting that lovely 100k burst, especially with the damage buff, all really good. Adore this. And the speed at which we go to clear this is actually really nice. So you can see Affliction easily holding its own. Easily holding its own. I just, this makes me laugh actually, if we come back to here. There's our Ret Paladin, right? Hey Ret Pallies. Show this to Blizzard and tell them you don't need fixing, right? There's our Ret Pally doing his AoE. Doing his AoE. 53k. Oh, boss. Blow all cooldowns. 200k DPS. 200k DPS. Woo! Fuck yo, couch. With Ret Paladins for the fucking win. Absolutely fucking adorable. I really love seeing that Ret like low all the way through the fight. Get to the boss though, I'm gonna fuck your show. Oh damn, Ret Paladin. Going down to the bottom again. That's really cool. I really like it. Ret Paladin suffer. Give me a boss. Let me blow my wedge all over this guy. Let me see it. Really cool. Skipping on again. Kil'jaeden's going. Oh, I can running Drain Soul. Nightmare. What a fucking woe is me situation. Terrible, terrible. And last thing I wanted to show was this, actually. I just wanted to finish up on this. I thought it was quite cool and nifty to see the utility. A lot of people really don't use everything in their toolbox. I don't like that, right? You have all this shit available to you and you don't use it. So we saw the Rogue with sprints and stuff. Ret Paladins are a great example, actually. Ret Paladins, as we discussed, Ret Paladin leveling can feel a little bit terrible, especially to me. And the reason for that is quite simple. Ret Paladins have all these tools that are only really useful to us in certain situations. But when they are, Ret Paladins really shine. We have all these tools in the toolbox. Warlocks are quite similar. They have all sorts of various shit they can do. Loads of things that people don't even bother keybinding. And I really like that we come into here straight away, keeping these alive, because they want the damage buff from it. Going straight into Drain Soul and positioning yourself. Look at the positioning that's going on. Remember, position, position, position. You see this all the time. When I show you the top end videos, when I show you the top players playing, you see them all the time adjusting their position to the sweet spot. That's one of the big things that I see between the mid and lower level players to the high players. It's position all the time. It's so massively important. And we see this constantly when we look at the high end videos. Is that we see him drop it down here. Getting his gateway down. Positioned perfectly to make sure he gets the best use out of gateway. Then dropping down and preparing for the rest of the fight. I want to show you this boss fight. It's pretty cool. You can see him keeping the resin alive. Keeping that damage buff ready to go. And abusing it down here to make sure they can do most DPS. Most DPS possible. If you're looking to do challenge modes, these are the kind of things you're going to be doing. And I hope you guys do try out challenge modes. It's some nice challenging content. Every class is capable. Skip on to the boss where we'll see the gateway in action. Here comes your boss. There goes your boss. Popping those cooldowns. Tanking him in there. I showed this recently on a stream. I think it was on Tuesday. I tanked this boss to show people how to really abuse this mechanic. Which was really nice. Keep tanking him, just switching him around. Position, position, position. Again, look at how this party is positioned in such a way to ensure they can reposition the boss at all times and keep him inside the tar. This is the best part about it. This is what the whole position is about. Everybody strategically positioned to make sure they can keep this boss inside the tar and maximize the use out of the buff. Perfect play. Perfect play. Running Drain Soul. Terrible level 90 talent. And then coming down to the kill. And of course the rest of the fight goes on with some skipping trash the rest of the instance and making best use out of that. Really nice to see. I was really thankful for this video. Just showing a little bit of utility that the Warlock has. A little bit of the utility the Warlock has that tends to go unused a lot of the time. Really goes unused, and I don't like to see that. Remember what you've got and makes best use of it. And also nice to see the Affliction Warlock, which is something people kind of QQ about for not having enough sustained burst. We had a lot of conversations about this in the stream chat today when I was playing the Warlock. Really powerful class. Super powerful. And one of the reasons it's one of the top, if not the top DPS spec in the game right now, besides Arcade Maze. Show the second to last boss. Okay. Okay, I did want to finish on time today, as Ghosty is approaching. The Wild Ghost appears. Second to last boss. Let's make sure you get a good view of it. Pulling the boss before the trash. As you can see, they're going to abuse the fact that they can blow this trash up really easily. Always nice to see. Dropping Shadow Furies. Again, more utility the Warlock has, the better. Always abusing that. Set positions, pre-planned, of course, as to where to get the bombs from. Grabbing his bomb, wiping out all the trash, focusing entirely on making sure they get that. General Pavak is going to die so fucking fast, it is retarded. Absolutely retarded. I do love seeing when you get 5 good players who know how to do this fight, this boss dies so ridiculously quick, it actually makes me really sad when I spend 5 minutes fighting this boss. You guys have all been there in a heroic or something, you've been on this boss for ages, and then you watch some guild do it on challenge mode and kill it in about, 40 seconds or something stupid. They absolutely fucking destroy it. Same tactic you guys use. Cool. Cool. Ghosty bursting through my door. Well, maybe you'll see that at some point. Who knows? Straight down to there. Got the bulwark up. Still DPSing. Remember, the shield there actually isn't immune. It absorbs a set amount of damage. A lot of people think he's immune in the shield. He's not. It absorbs damage, and the damage can be gotten rid of. Throwing the bombs, not moving out of the way. Remember, if you're set an assignment, you must trust your other players. Trusting your other players is everything. Trusting the other players is absolutely vital. Always vital. Trust your other players. If you have a set assignment, don't start thinking I'm the hero and moving out of it. And there you go. Boss dead in record time. Ooh, it's not record time. He missed out by 0.1 of a second. As you can see, they've done this before. Then moving on to the last boss. Last boss is fucking terrible. I'm not going to show that one. That is the conclusion of Workshop Wednesday. Special thanks to all 3 of our submitters today, and I hope many of you can... If you've been in the workshop, I would love to see your updated video after you've put into place what we've talked about in these workshops. I think that was pretty awesome. I would love to see that. I love it when you send me update videos that show the changes that occurred after we discussed some things. I really like to see that. And also, did your DPS increase, which usually it should do, or your healing and so on and so forth. You send the workshop stuff to preachgaming@gmail.com. Just record yourself playing. Plenty of free players out there. Open broadcast or free XSplit will allow you to record your gameplay. Just upload it to YouTube. Send it to preachgaming@gmail.com. And I will do my best to make sure you're featured and give you some feedback. If I don't think it's worthy of like an entire video or an entire stream dedicated to your video, I'll gladly send you feedback via email if it's something minor. Alright guys? You're the Rogue, you've been working at UI for a while. I'll send you another video soon. Love to, World Chat. I hope that helped you out. It was quite fun to see the Rogue. I was looking forward to a Rogue for ages. Of course, we do have a joke about it. Don't take personal offense. That's not what we're about. Just me trying to make it a little bit more interesting instead of just droning on about sprinting. Alright guys, take it easy guys. I will see you tomorrow for Drama Thursday, and I will see you at 9 AM tomorrow for the live stream. I live stream throughout the day. I'll be live streaming from 9 AM, and we have Drama Thursday and Friday. Ghost should be with you in about an hour. He's going to run you through all the transmogs and stuff. Thank you very much to you submitters. Appreciate it. Goodbye.